I wasn't going to stop here at all because it was called Attack Creek and the reviews were talking about mosquitoes and everything. It's like the best setup ever. They've got water, they've got like chair and tables. Like I could sit there and work on my laptop. And they even got firewood. But the highway is just there. But like I said in earlier journals, there's not a lot of traffic in the middle of nowhere. It's not like you're going to be kept up all night by cars and trucks and stuff. But yeah, last night was interesting. Pulled up on this big plateau and watched the sunset, and it was just like so beautiful, so epic. And I was like, there's no flies here. There's absolutely not a single fly, not a single mosquito, insect of any kind. And I was like, thank you. Like, this is beautiful. This is like, I remember I was laying there. I just laid straight on my tray with just a pillow. Like, I've got like a little cushion from Kmart that was like $9. It's perfect. And I was just like looking up at the stars. You see like more stars than ever before. And I was like, this is what I've been looking for. This feels like I'm content right now. I'm comfortable. I'm happy. And yeah, I was loving it. But like then I thought, well, I rolled out the swag anyway, just in case it got cold, because as I'm going further south, it actually does get colder. And I'm glad that I did, because I think the flies being gone was because a huge storm was coming. Because it like all of a sudden got like I might have been like dozing off, like in and out of consciousness or whatever, but all of a sudden it was just like so windy. I was like at one point thinking, is the car gonna tip over? Like that level of windy. And yeah, I didn't have my tarp like tied up or anything, but the wind naturally like flapped it over me and turned me into a burrito. So like it was shielding me. And yeah, it was in the swag at that point, like jumped in the swag. And yeah, it was really like ferocious for a little while. And then it all calmed down. But it was like, I was going through some stuff, like internally as well. And it was like, I saw all the most beautiful things, like in my mind's eye, like just imagining all the most beautiful things and witnessing them, and like, yeah, being grateful and into the future as well, like looking into the future, like all the things that are going to happen that I'm going to be grateful for. And it was like, as I started to think, there's also going to be challenges. There's also going to be like, I'm going to have to go through all the other side of the coin. It's not just going to be all sunshine and rainbows. There will always be challenges. Like my journal that I was talking about, you'll always have problems. It'll just be a better, like a higher degree of problems that you've earned. You've earned those problems. Yeah, as soon as I started thinking about like all the shit that I'm gonna have to face, it's like I saw the most beautiful experience, like just laying under the star, totally content, and then I saw like the storm inside of me, and it was just like, yeah, fucking like a cyclone, but like, yeah, those experiences. I've had another one like it. They just like really reach deep inside me. Like after I have one, it's like a preview of like what's to come, like a little microcosm of like your life, like a little, like, you know what, like you can have, it's you get to see the extremes, the the extremes of the polarity of like total contentment and total chaos, or like, yeah, it's hard to explain. But after I have it, it's like an opportunity to say, yes, I accept that. I accept that it has to be that hectic for me to have that much beauty and happiness and contentment. Like I'm happy to accept the extremes of both ends of the spectrum. I'm not just gonna expect life to be all sunshine and rainbows. And I can take it. Like I don't need it to be super balanced and like just like a little bit beautiful or a little bit hectic. I'm happy for it to swing. I'm happy to have peak experiences that are both positive and negative, because really there's no such thing as a negative experience. It's just our perception of it, right? Like last night wasn't negative. It was just like, whoa, you know? It was like, is the car gonna tip over? Like, am I just gonna, like, what's gonna happen? But like, it's been ages. Like there was a journal I did ages ago that was like, I found that fearless place inside myself. And I'm still there. I'm right there. Like it's solid as now. Like I'm not thinking like what's gonna happen. Like I'm not scared of what might happen. I'm like, let's just see what happens. Like so when the storm comes in, it's just like, well, let's see. Let's see. So many flies right now. Yeah. I don't know. I also thought I just made up the shit about the flies. I was just speculating that they go away right before a huge storm. But it could have also been because I was up so high. I'm not sure. But there were flies this morning, so that's what validated my theory a little bit. My hypothesis that flies disappear right before a hectic storm. It's a good thing to like, if that is real, to know so that next time it's really still and beautiful and clear and there's no insects, that I set up like some kind of waterproofing and be prepared ahead of schedule. But like I said, it's so dry out here anyway and so hot that you everything dries out super fast anyway. It's no problem. And the tarp is pretty much like waterproof, water resistant anyway, so it doesn't hold moisture. Even the swag should be somewhat waterproof, even if I just had the swag. The tarp is like the tarp is luxury. we're we're a 5-star swag hotel on the back of this ute. So yeah, bit of a story, man. Words will never describe like how big my feelings were last night and how much was happening inside me. Actually, I'll try and describe. There was one point where um, I like lit a small fire because there wasn't a lot of timber around. It was like pretty, pretty like, yeah, there was like 3 trees in the area, and I went and got like the little twigs that have fallen out of the trees and some of this grass that's like real easy to light. And I lit a fire, and then the fire was pretty much done. There was no more wood anyway, and I was just looking into the, like those red coals and how they kind of glisten in a way. And I was just thinking, oh, I'll charge my phone and I'll use the light to read my book. I'll do this, I'll do that, like trying to think of what I can do to pass the time. And then something inside of me just said, stop, like, just be here. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, stop just trying to always fill your time because you came out here to be. You came out here to be with yourself and experience something. And so I just stopped and I was just staring into those coals. Is that like the like, it's not on fire. It's just like coals when they're like, the colors are moving through it. And yeah, just all that stuff in my head stopped. Like I stopped thinking, I've got to do this, I'll do that. Like every single thing stopped fully. And then like I was listening to the silence. But the thing is, the silence was loud. It was like a frequency, like a not a single tone, like a pattern. And it was loud. And it was like, I don't know if it actually is made up of like sound that's actually around us, like the frequency of the land or whatever's going on. But what all I knew is like I hadn't heard this, like I hadn't tuned into this level yet. I hadn't tuned in this deep for a long time. I hadn't tuned into this on this trip because I'd just been trying to fill my time, even do these journals, do all these things, so that like because I'm running away from something inside myself. But I heard that and it was loud, and I thought it was loud because it had been building up. It felt like it had been building up. I'd been ignoring it. And as I sat and listened to it, or stood and listened to it, it was like I moved my head around in like different places and different areas. The sound would be slightly different, slightly quieter. staring into the fire, it would be a certain way. So it was definitely, I don't know, like a sensory experience of something. But I don't know. I've had it before. I call it the sound of silence. Like when I'm really like tuning in deeper, you hear those like patterns and frequencies, but like you never talk about it. And I remember thinking that. Actually, I did the thing again where I was like, I was actually laying on the tray last night, just like singing to the stars, like when I was in that full contentment, just singing a story. And I sang that story. I sang about how I heard the silence. And then as I sang that, I can't believe that I've never expressed that experience before. I've never talked about it. Because, yeah, like we all have like these deeper experiences, but we don't talk about it. I want to talk about it heaps more. That's why I'm writing a book, because I just want to get it all together coherently in a way that can be digested by a rational minded person, even though they're still going to think I'm crazy. And then I can just like put it out there and go, look, stuff's going on inside of us. Maybe this stuff isn't going on. Maybe you think it's not going on inside of you. Maybe you've never had an experience like that where you've been tuning into something deeper than just like the surface level tree, log, bin, like that. Everything's labeled and we know what it is. Beyond that, there's like so much more. But yeah. And it's not like, I don't know. It's not like this super special thing. It's just a thing that we're all like we've ignored it for so long that we've forgotten about it, I guess. Like even though I have, like I said, heard that sound before, like and tuned into that, it's like I even forgot about it, and I was surprised when I got quiet in myself and it showed back up again. And then like, what happens if you spend a little bit more time with that? When you tune into that and you actually spend more time with it, or you just observe it and you learn about it, or you tune into more of those deeper things and you start to understand like what it all actually is, which is like something that you're never going to read in a book. I'm interested in that. I think I'm going to continue on my journey now. Hopefully that some of that made some kind of sense to somebody. Click the like button for me, leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already. It's just a friendly reminder because that stuff really helps. And I'll see you when I'm looking at you.